Well, I'm just not going to spend a great amount of time on this. That's as good as it's going to get, or as good as I'm going to get it. Kind of an interesting wood. I can't wait to put a coat of poly on it. I'm not going to smooth it out. I hit this with my belt sander. I hit it with some 100 grit, and that's all I'm going to do. It's going to be a functional knife, and that's it. It's not going to be pretty. But with every handle I make, I get a little bit better at it. Very soon I'm going to make, very soon, well, someday soon, I hope to make my own blades. I don't want to give anybody the impression that I'm making these blades. They're blanks that I buy them through Amazon. There's probably a million places you can buy the blanks, but I get them through Amazon because I'm a Prime member and I go through various friends' Amazon accounts, and everybody, or links, and everybody gets a little piece of the pie. And anyway, so this is my last blank, and today I'm fixing to download some free knife patterns, and I'm probably going to cut one out today. So let me get some poly on this. Let's see what a couple of coats of poly makes it look like, and then I'll sharpen the edge up really good, make a nice sheath for it, a really heavy duty utility, something that'll, since this is, the steel on this knife is really good steel, and when you finally get an edge on them, believe me, it takes an awful lot of effort to put a good edge on these. They make good functional knives. So I'm going to make a nice heavy duty sheath for it. This is never going to be a pretty knife, but it is going to be a good camp knife, and a knife that you wouldn't care about taking it out in the woods and batoning it through a piece of wood to split it, Anyway, let me get a couple of coats of poly on it, see what it looks like. Well, I downloaded some knife, what do you call them? Patterns for free online. And I got a small one here. Here's my small one. Anyway, I've got one cut out. Here's what I did. I just printed them off and then glued them down to some plywood. And then I cut it out on my bandsaw so I can trace around it, which I did right here. But I'll tell you, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cut this. I can't cut it with my bandsaw, that's for sure. So I may be able to cut it out with my cut-off wheels, but that's going to take a lot of cutting. I'm going to do it though. I gave, 3 or 4 of these to Rick Wallace Knives, and he managed to cut them, so I'm going to have to ask him how he cut them, because my bandsaw will not touch it. Here's what it did. And then it ruined the bandsaw blade. And then I got online, and the way you see, this is super hard metal here, and the way you make it soft where you can work on it is to heat it up cherry red hot and then let it cool naturally without dunking it in anything. So I did that, and I tried cutting it again, and it just laughed. So it ain't cutting by bandsaw. Then the way you heat treat this again is you heat it up cherry red again and then dunk it in an oil. So what I was going to do, and I did that, you can see where I've heated it up, and I even bent it a little bit, but I can bend it back. Heated it up, and what I was going to do is cut it out, get a rough edge on it, drill my holes in the handle, and then harden it again. But that all depends if I can cut this out with my cutting wheel, and then put it on a grinder and shape it up as best I can. So we'll see. And here, that I'm kind of liking the color contrast, the white and the black. I'm kind of liking that. And thanks to all the people that gave me suggestions about wrapping copper wire in that gap, that might actually look kind of neat. So anyway, you know, it's not a total loss. I do like the color, the two colors. That's I may do that again. I have to ask my friend Dwayne what kind of wood that is. He knows wood by looking at it. I gotta look online. Okay, I'm going in. See you tomorrow. Well, I got them cut out, and let's see. I already told you about this. Man, I got nothing that'll cut this, and I'll tell you what. I'm gonna have to buy another blade for my bandsaw because I ruined the blade. Brand new. I mean, I've had the thing a week, you know, brand new. Ruined it trying to cut this. So tomorrow I gotta spend all day in town doing stuff, and I'm not gonna have a chance to do anything out here. I have had a little bit of time to try to. I got some copper wire, and I just couldn't figure out how to make it stay in there. So I hammered it down in there with a tiny screwdriver right there, and it made it look even worse, so I pulled it out. And then I tried this, but there's no way to make it stay in there. And just been racking my brain. I've spent way more time on this than I should have, but I mean, I am learning. And here's the last thing. This is some leather, well, thread, I guess you'd say, to use it to sew sheaths together. And I'm soaking it in water, and I'm hoping what I can do is stretch it and get it skinny enough to fit in that crack, and then let it dry. And that's it. I give up after that. So this is what it looks like with a couple of coats of poly on it. I don't know if I showed you that in the last clip or not, if I had put any poly on it. But kind of like the white and the brown. It's a really nice contrast. I may do that again if I can get Dwayne to tell me what kind of wood that is. This is walnut, and it's walnut that him and I cut down. It was well, it fell down. Him and I cut it up. It was over 100 years old. Anyway, that's it for today. I got other things I got to do. I did mention that I ordered 4 blanks, and I only ordered them because I want to trace them like I did these and cut out my patterns. This is just little bits of plywood that what I did was spray it and then put the paper on it and then put it on my bandsaw and cut around the pattern of the knife. And I'll actually drill these holes out and just get it ready to make my own pattern. So what I'm going to do is order my own steel to make knives with. They sell them in, you know, like a 30-inch lengths or 2-foot lengths. I believe they're 2 inches wide. And anyway, I'm getting it. Someday I'm going to make some kick-ass knives, but right now I'm sort of slowly getting tooled up, you know, and learning how to do it. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, but you know, time, I have a lot of other stuff I need to do. It's winter, so I'm sort of, you know, there are days where I'm just stuck inside. Anyway, enough jabbing. I'll get back after this probably Saturday. See you then. I almost forgot to vote. Well, I did something today that I've never done before. I'm going to be taking classes at Tandy Leather, and you get a huge discount if you show them that you're a veteran. Yes, I don't have my seatbelt. I'm only going to block. I know I should have my seatbelt done, but I didn't. So, sue me. I've never used my being a veteran as a means of getting a discount, and I actually brought my DD Form 214 right here to get my discount. It was like 50% off the leather that I bought at Tandy, and a couple of tools and some accoutrement. Anyway, I almost forgot to vote. I got so excited about taking classes. They're doing leatherworking classes from, I mean, absolute beginner, which I am, you know, and I've made a few sheaths, and when I get back to the house after I vote, I'm going to show you the stupid mistake I made, and I'm down to my last bit of leather, so I'm just going to go with it. I can't believe I did this. It's kind of funny, and it just shows that mistakes happen, and especially with me. I make a lot of mistakes, man. Anyway, I'll show you when I get home, but let's go vote. Alrighty, we're back. This is my mistake. I didn't make that mistake on this one, but I did make that mistake on this one, and I bet you could already tell why. Oh, let me show you the knife. So when you put this thing up against your belt, it's going to be facing the wrong way. The edge is going to be facing forward. Oh, what a screw up. I guess I had a 50-50 chance of getting this right, and I got it wrong. I got it right on this one. But, oh well. I'm a beginner, and that's the little piece I have left. It's not enough to make... oh, maybe it is, but I'm going to go with this. I mean, is it that big a deal that it's facing the wrong direction, you know? I don't know. If you're giving it to somebody, I think little things like that, they might be able to overlook. Oh, and I had one long piece of walnut left that from that tree that Dwayne and I cut up. So that's been 2 years. This has been sitting in my shop, good and dry now, and I may see if Dwayne can put these on his planer and square these up for me. So that's a whole lot of knife handles there. And look at the worm holes. At first I was thinking, oh no, but then I thought, oh, I'll tell you what, that's pretty cool, you know, having a knife handle with worm holes in it. Dwayne, this wood here, Dwayne made some oh, I don't know, flag cases and clocks and different stuff that had of this wood that had bullets still in it from, you know, 100 years ago, because it was right in the middle of the tree. And I wish I had shown you that tree. I couldn't get my arms around it, and I have a 22-inch blade on my saw, and it took me cutting on both sides of it to get through it. And then he had to hire a flatbed to come and pull it up onto the flatbed to deliver it to the people that sawed it up. So it was huge, and this is the last of it for me. And let's see, that's some of it here, the dark wood in the middle, that's some of it. And I got another knife or two that I've made out of this wood. I've given an awful lot of it. I gave some to Ricky Wallace, and I think Rusty Glove Box, gave a little bit to him. I thought I had more cut up, but I didn't. I only sent him like 2 or 3 pieces, because this is the last of it that I had cut up, and it was like in a 4x4, 4-inch by 4-inch by about 4 foot long piece, and had bark on it, and so I just put it on my saw and cut all the bark off of it. Anyway, this is what we're looking like so far. I voted, and man, I'll tell you what, they wanted to pass a tax to be assessed on property for the roads, and I voted no. And here's why. I live in Webster Parish, and man, we have tons and tons and tons of government subsidized housing, and those people all have cars, so they're not going to be subject to paying that tax because they don't own property. And it's just not right that property owners get penalized for owning property and have to pay for the road repair when everybody drives on the roads. Why not come up with a better idea? You know, something you buy. Or, you know, gas. Put it on gas. Everybody's got to have gas. Or attach it to you know, whatever everybody pays for. It ain't fair that you sock it to homeowners and people who don't own property get to drive on the same roads that I'm paying for. anyway, that's just my opinion. So I voted no, and I mean, I'm all for road repair, but not at the expense of one over another. So let's get to work here. I think I'm going to go ahead and just make this and be done with it. You know, I got a lot of little clips here. Maybe I'll just upload all this, and then my next video I'll just show you what this looks like at the end of it. I'm going to dye this dark, and here's what it's going to look like. I've never had dye before, and I just tried it on that. And tell you what, I went to Hobby Lobby first, and I should have gone to Tandy Leather first. I didn't know what all Tandy Leather had, and it's half the price of this. And they got all colors. At Hobby Lobby, it was either that or black. So I would have liked a lighter color than this. So, but I'm going to put this on there and just wipe it on, wipe it off. All right, back to work. I kind of like the way I did that. That's probably going to be my favorite way to do it now. And I do have several layers there. That's 4 layers. The inner, the outer, and 2 middle layers. I didn't put one of these snap keepers here because it sets so far down in there that there's really no danger of it coming out. Alright, look for a video. I've got a 3rd knife in there, and I'm probably going to be making a wood gas stove, and I'm just going to give it all away. You don't got to do nothing, just leave a comment saying, yeah, I'd like something. Not now, not now. That video will be coming up. Just, you know, I like making these. They're not good enough to sell, but I think they're good enough to give to people. Plus, I have a friend of mine, Buck Run 11, made me some rings for my stoves, and it really has made them easier to make. So I can make 4 more stoves, you know, for giving away. I don't sell them either, I just give them away. And I'll make one and give it away when I give these knives away, which will be soon, so hang in there. Alrighty, thanks for watching. I'll have several clips I put on the end, just little things along the way. Oh, and a story of meeting Ricky Skaggs. Okay, see you. Thanks for watching.